Good evening and a warm welcome to Big Budget Business, where we highlight prolific individuals making strides in their respective fields. Today we are speaking to a young, prolific individual in many respects, Mr. Khutsafalo, who happens to be the manager of Hollard Life's corporate social initiative. Mr. Khutsafalo, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's been a long time coming.
It's been a long time, and sorry about that, but this is fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So give us a bit of background. Who is Goitsemang Khutsafalo? Tell us about yourself.
I think professionally, a lot of people know me from the radio space, where we host a show called The Youth Gear on RB2 FM with Ms. GKs, and also I write business book. One of my books is called Think Like an Entrepreneur, Act Like a Prostitute. Wow. I've got another one coming up. It's called Marimavu. It's fun, more fun than the Black and Yellow itself. And then also I work in the space of business and entrepreneurship development. That's your Project 124, which is an initiative that is actually brought to the world by Hollard Life, the insurance company, through which is the main CSI project at Hollard Life, where we are investing in empowering the lives of young people who are into the business. We believe primarily on helping them to build their better futures.
Absolutely, and I think that ties in very well with what we do here, because our initiative is to try and inspire young people to venture into business.
100%.
So let's talk about the organization itself. Hollard, you were telling me that it's a bit broad, it's a big organization. Let's talk about Hollard. How would you describe the organization, as well as perhaps your particular role in detail?
Yeah, Hollard is a company. I think a lot of people know it from South Africa. When you watch your SABCs and you see our adverts saying Siyaduduza, and or maybe some of the sponsorships where we see our brand in sports, some of these soccer teams that Hollard sponsors. But Hollard is actually is a company that I think this will be 18 years here in Botswana.
Wow.
Yeah, and it has got two arms, which is the Hollard Life, where we do funeral covers and life policies, and then also we have the short-term insurance, where you can insure your buildings, your car, and different properties. So that's how it is. So I'm mainly working with the Hollard Life insurance, which is led by Bilkis Murad, this amazing team of management that actually, I love their passion for young people, I love their passion for Botswana, and I love their passion towards building the communities of Botswana. Even if you look at the product offering that we have, that we get into later on the show, about making insurance not just about insurance, which is people thinking I'm just going to be bleeding money out. Peradventure I do die, and there's something left. And insurance is more than just that this time around. So we want to go deeper into understanding how insurance can be an investment on your side. As a business person, how do you help yourself through the investment into insurance, and what offerings are there that you can actually utilize, not just to insure when a predicament happens you claim, but actually how can you use that you have insurance as an instrument that can be an asset in who you are and what your business is about.
You know what, I think you've already set the tone for that. Let's get into it. What exactly, insurance is quite a broad and extensive realm and field. Tell us a bit more about it, and in the context of what you do at Hollard Life.
Yeah, I think the simplest way to understand what insurance is, you should look at it as I think it's safe to look at it as a financial protection instrument.
Okay.
It's because the only reason why you get into insurance is because there's something that you see you either stand to lose or stand to gain. So a lot of people actually go in to get an insurance is because maybe, let's say in the space of a life cover, should I pass on, or maybe I fall critically ill, or some of these things happens that incapacitate me from making life out of who I am, then I can be able to claim. But if you look deeper into this, you realize that many of the aspirations that we have as people, that are tied around money, that are tied around being able to preserve the wealth that you make. You can build a nice house right now, furnish it whatever you have, which is a great thing to celebrate. But what happens when people break into your house, or it catches fire? So to invest in your better future, or to invest in the future of the dream that you have, insurance is a critical instrument that says says, we love what you are doing and building for yourself. Even if you build a family, you have kids and all of these things, how do you continue this dream that you have for building a healthy family? How do you continue this dream that you have of having a nice home and nice business that should anything happen, a catastrophe happens, or any issue that that you can never expect happens, how do you ensure the continuity of your business if people break into your building and all of that? So my role really individually, it's around the space of educating young people about insurance. It's also around getting some of the project that we do. We have a campaign at Hollard. It's called Better Futures. It's been running for years. It's in every country where we are, Ghana, for example, Zambia, for example, South Africa, Namibia, and right here, and it's primarily on building the talent of a young person. And it's around building the dream of a young person, of saying many of what you see in your mind that you want to do for your community is possible. So Hollard isn't just into business of insuring people, but even giving young people a chance to build their own dreams and say, I have this in my mind and I feel like I can do this here. And Hollard says through programs like Project 124, you go there to learn, first about the fundamentals of being an entrepreneur, how to run a business enterprise, gives you a platform to network with other entrepreneurs. It gives you a platform to meet resources and even investors that can actually take your dream from one place to the other. So I think Hollard has been sponsoring Project 124 since 2018. And at the time here in Botswana, it was only also here in Botswana, and it was mainly in Gaborone. So when Hollard came on board, we saw Project 124 go into the rest of the country, which is, Silebe Pico, Francistown, Maung. So more young people can access the free education that they get in the area of business and entrepreneurship space. And then Project 124 grow even into other countries. Like it becomes a local brand here in Botswana, but that is internationally recognized and impactful. So you have Namibian young people coming on board. Last year you had like Ghanaians coming on board. We have South Africans, Eswatini people, even in countries where we don't have Hollard, like Eswatini, for example. We because of what we do here, the impact reaches young people from that stage. This year also we're reaching young people in other countries of East Africa. So that's the dream that we have, to take the knowledge that we have and export it, to the rest of the country on the Pepo banner Hollard.
Wow. I think this is quite a commendable initiative, because it's very few companies that you'll see actually investing in the future. And I like that you touched on the aspect of learning about the fundamentals of entrepreneurship, because business is quite a risky venture. So you're helping young people not to get in there blindfolded.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, that's great. And I was going to ask why you think this is important, Dr. for society. And okay, maybe for a young person about to venture into business or, starting out my career, why would you say insurance is an important consideration for me? And also, why is it an important consideration early on?
Yeah, I think if we had control of the future, then you wouldn't need an insurance, because then therefore you can be able to determine the elements that are going to unfold your life. But because you're uncertain about where you're going, you're uncertain about some of the circumstances that can come to your life, then it's always to be sure that should something happen, there's something that ensures that you're going to restore it to a state where it was. So the word insurance literally means that. So you could build, I can give you typical examples. We know young people, even some that we meet through Project 124, they'll tell you that they got a funding, to, let's say the government funded their businesses and they started off, and then they were into the media companies. So thieves broke into their space, they took all the cameras and everything and they ran away. So the next thing what you do is you still have a loan to pay the investor.
Absolutely.
But the thing you need that you can use to build the business is not there. So nobody can help you. So you are now 100,000 deep into the debt, but you don't have any income. But should this same type of young people had an insurance for the same business that they have, even in as much as they had this predicament happening, they can be able to claim back the business that they had. That's one case of many that actually is possible out there. So the other thing that I realized personally when we teach young people about insurance, I think this also was my own understanding of it. I think we hear insurance from other people as an expensive instrument. You'll be shocked, like even like say life cover or funeral policies. Hollard has funeral policies as cheap as 27 pula. Yeah, 100%.
That's the premium that would
That's
be
the premium you pay a month to insure yourself to get buried, 100%. And people don't know this because the only thing you've known about insurance is when you see it on TV with another brand, maybe they're selling it for 399 pula. And you're like, how can I pay all these premiums for the rest of my life and then I'm not going to be able to claim when I'm alive? So even understanding insurance, its importance, I think where you have to really start is looking at yourself. What are your aspirations? Where do you want to go? So should you climb the ladder 10 steps and something happens, what will that mean to you? Does it mean that you go down to the first step or even under the first step? Or you can still hit a situation, an issue in your life, but it can be restored and you can still continue going forward. So if you took 10 years to build 3 steps and fire destroys everything, are you going to take another 10 years to build another one? Are you going to quit? So a lot of people that actually quit on their dreams or they don't build themselves is always because of these issues. So I would say in that regard, you would need to really understand that insurance is not something that you shouldn't buy because somebody's a good salesman at it, because those are the guys that really made a lot of people hate insurance. Every time some guy is knocking like, yo, do you want a policy? Do you want a policy? Do you want a policy? And then that's why a lot of people decide, I don't think I want to buy an insurance. But really, if you sit down and look closer into what you do, you realize a lot of elements that you really need to consider insurance. When you're small, like a small company and all of this, you won't really see much of it. But the more you grow, it's just like compliance, hiring an accountant to do your books. When you are not registered for BURS, you don't see that as a thing. You think you can just do your own bookkeeping and all of that. By the time they want your audited papers, financials and everything, you realize why you have to be having an accountant. Now, even when an accountant charges you 2,000 or 3,000 or 5,000 to prepare the books, you don't see it as an expense that is huge. You see it as an investment that helps you in your compliance. So it only matters how you see things.
So are those some of the things that you teach young people through Project 124?
Yes, sir. Especially the issue of compliance. There are 4 main areas that we focus on. We focus on the business model canvas, which says you've got a value. Because a lot of people, the only thing they know about their business is the idea itself, that I just want to sell fat cakes. But they don't know, like what you always explain, like every business has 2 sides to it. We've got the craft of the business, which is, if it's in the fat cake business, the fat cake themselves are your craft. So a lot of people, when they prepare themselves to start, they prepare their ability to cook the fat cake. But then there's the other side, which is the business of the craft, which is the business of selling fat cakes. So that part, a lot of people don't do much with it. So what they do is they don't know issues of compliance. They don't know that if you are not compliant, it doesn't matter how good you are at cooking fat cakes. Yeah, you can only cook as good as you can sell to 20 people. By the moment it gets to 50, when you scale up your business, there's a lot of things that come into it. So the guy who actually starts the business, they only look as far as the ability to produce the product, but they don't realize that the long-term vision of their existence in the business is not just to be involved in the craft, but the business of the craft. Like, how do you become a good CEO who is visionary, who understands what's going on? They can lead, they can inspire, they can do all of this. So this is where Project 124 comes in, to say, learn how to lead the business and yourself. So that's number 1. And then we get into the issue of compliance. Like, they need to really understand what does it mean to be a compliant business. I think I would tell you this, it's not a proven fact, but we estimate around 70% companies of young people in Botswana are not compliant. It could be more than that, because the only thing that most people have is a certificate of incorporation. And most of them are missing out in big tenders and big business, because when you get to a parastatal or a big organization and they say, we want to do business with you, the first thing they're going to ask you is a KYC. It happens at Hollard, and like every year when we run Project 124, we release requests for quotations. People need to print t-shirts for our participants. Some need to do banners, some need to cater and all of this. And majority of youth businesses always get, they get disqualified on level 2, which is compliance. You see the t-shirts, they're nice, the samples are great, but we can't do business with you because in our business, it's not always about we want the sample. We have policies that we subscribe to, issues of money laundering, issues of compliance. So if we take money from our account, pay a non-compliant young business, it's risky on our side when it comes to our own auditing, because it's going to come to auditing to see all of these things. So when we say young people should be compliant, it's not just for them to have all the papers they need. It's also you are making yourself, you're putting yourself in a place where it is everybody feels at peace with doing business with you. So a lot of these guys that you see people on Facebook doing the politics of big business are doing business with other big businesses. It's usually not about what you think it is. It's always about the small nitty-gritties. So when you tell the guy, give me your KYC, some of them haven't re-registered the business. Some of them, the tax clearance was, last time they did it was 5 years ago, and all of this, and then they don't get the business going. So instead of telling people the truth that we're not getting business because of these issues, they rather say people don't support young businesses.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we are having a very interesting conversation here about Hollard Life, its corporate social initiative, as well as Project 124 with Mr. Goitsemang Khutsafalo. So we're learning a lot. As young people in business, let's see that our businesses are compliant. Yes, you have that skill. Yes, you have that ability to get a product or craft something, but there's more to it. And this is what Project 124 and Hollard Life are working to do, to ensure that young people are capacitated accordingly.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
Okay, no, so that's very interesting. Now, let's get into some of the products or services that are available for us at Hollard Life.
Yeah, I'll speak primarily on the Hollard Life.
Yes.
The insurance of your life should, well, even when you are alive, and even when, God forbid, something happened to you that eliminates you from earth. And this is one of the things I think everybody who's been following my work all the time, I've always speak about people, the time when it comes, the one that we always think of, we don't think about too much. You can work so hard in your life just for a moment of death, changing everything. Just yesterday, who would have thought our dear brother Matudi would have gone? Like we can't even, and may his soul rest in peace. We can't even fathom the shock. Now imagine everything that happens to a lot of families. You live with your parents. You never even think to it that this guy who's paying the rent, who's doing all of these things, can actually go at any moment. I think even with the pandemic, we've seen it, that it changed everything altogether. And right now we have children who don't have parents. The parents maybe didn't have an insurance, at least just to bury the corpse itself, or all of this. So what we have at Hollard, it's a varied products that are designed not just to have the products, but they're designed to help the people depending on their needs and their ability to pay the insurance. We've got the first one that we have, which is I feel is the cheapest, and a lot of families can afford it everywhere in the country. Even its accessibility, it's beyond many that we have. We have a funeral policy called CDC. It's called CDC Funeral Policy, and you can access this at any post office anywhere in the country.
Post office?
Yeah, you just go into the post office like you're going to collect your mail and just pay your premium for insurance. And this is the one that insurance, that they start from 27 pula. You don't need a lot of money to get this one. So the cover amount of it, they range from 7.5 up to 15,000. So you can pay 27 pula for whatever period you have until you qualify to claim. But if you qualify to claim the amount, that 27 pula covers you, and then you can be able, when you die, the family can claim the money and give you a prestigious funeral. And then this one was designed understanding that a lot of people can afford, big budgets, Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they don't have that much of a budget to actually take more. But they just wanted to know when this person passed on, we want to be able to bury this person. It has happened to me before when my sister passed on. My family didn't have literally nothing. We never even thought it could ever happen. We even had to go to government. Government has this packages that they have. You can either buy you a coffin through Mabipeleo.
Yes.
It happens to a lot of people, but doesn't have to, because we have this kind of products where you get to pay 27 pula. I know most people are broke, but 27 pula you can hustle in a month and bury somebody prestigiously. We've got a funeral a policy called Monameti. This one, it is not really much about like it is about CDC. This one says it covers you and then also your extended family.
Okay.
CDC, it covers you and your nuclear family, immediate family.
Yes.
And then Monameti covers you and the extended family.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And then they have cover amounts that goes from about 10,000 to about 50,000. So there are two elements that I think whenever I teach people about insurance, you have to look into. Look into who does it cover.
Who does it cover?
Yeah. What's the amount? What's the minimum amount in terms of premium? Can you afford it? And then what do you get out of the policy itself? Issues like cover amounts. There are other additional benefits, like some of the other the ones that we have got, like Lorako, we have got like Impepu. These ones I feel like most young professionals, whether business people or people who are just working in corporate, can actually utilize, because these days insurance policies are more than just it's more than about the funeral. There's what we call life cover, which means even when you are alive, you are covered. Should you get critically ill, for example, you can still claim. You have like Bom Pepu. You can, if you have a mortgage or you have a loan that you want to get, you can use some of these funeral policies to seed that kind of loan. So it's more than just about a lot of people use an insurance asset like Mpepu and Lerako as an instrument that they use, an asset to build their future and all of the likes. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. So quite comprehensive information there on the products that Hollard Life has. And you did mention that if one is to consider getting cover, I should consider the minimum amounts, right? I should consider who it covers, right? And then you also said I should consider
the additional benefits, like I was saying. But it's actually the other way around. You start from what do you want to experience as a person who's buying insurance, because a lot of people tie their mind on the price that they see, and then it blurs them from seeing the value that is attached to the product. And then some people, they just come to the office and they tell you, this is the funeral policy that I want. But when you look at their lives and the aspirations that they have, because sometimes we use the information that we have as a separate part. You have a great accountant who is ambitious about building this on the other side, but you are not educated in terms of insurance. So when you come, maybe you heard somebody saying, I have this one, so you say, I want the one, but you don't know that we also have other things that can actually go even into your vision and all of that. Like we have Lerako and we've got Mpepu that says you can still get the funeral cover, you can still get the life cover, but more than this, this is how the same policy that you get can even feed the other dreams that you have while you are still around. So I always encourage that when you get to see one of our agents or you go to come to the office, that's the benefit you get, because they explain to you. So it's about what do you want, and then the price is the last thing, because you can come to the office thinking you're going to pay 27 pula, which is good, but then you can realize that putting an extra another 27 pula can get you more, and it's still affordable for you.
Absolutely. Mr. Khutsafalo, wow, thank you very much for that informative information. Now, you did mention we can go to the post office, but how else can we access the Hollard Life aspects as well as this Project 124?
100%. We've got 2 offices, and we have other satellite offices countrywide. Mohaburon, you can come to Fairgrounds. In Fairgrounds, you have 2 offices as well. Hollard Life itself, it's in Fairgrounds on your way to BAC. But when you turn by KPMG, there's where a lot of people call it Investec, that compound there, where there's other PayPal and all of that, and Miller Fund. We share the building with Miller Fund. That's where Hollard Life is. If you go to the building, the BDC building, or next to the office building, also at the very top, we have another Hollard short-term insurance office right there. So I always ask people that just walk through to that. And then you can contact Project 124 on Facebook. It's Project 124 Africa or Project 124 Entrepreneurship Development Program. Or you can call the number 7704-5403, 7704-5403, or www.launchitinternational.com/ Project 124, or just Google Project 124.
Project 124.
Everything will come. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you also, how can we follow you?
Same process. Hashtag GJ Khutsafalo or Facebook Goitsemang J Khutsafalo. This is the same across Instagram and everything else. Yeah.
Wonderful. Mr. Khutsafalo, let me thank you so much for your time and for this informative session that we've had. It's been a pleasure having you, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We're going for a quick ad break and we'll be back with our 2-minute tip. Right, so today's 2-minute tip, we're going to touch on an important corporate governance aspect that a lot of companies tend to overlook, and this is the aspect of board inductions. Now, board inductions, basically put, are simply the first or introductory meeting or session for new board members to be apprised on a lot of different issues within the organization. And some of these issues include, number one, to understand the purpose, mission, and vision of the organization. Number two, the board member also gets an understanding of any regulatory information or statutory legislation that underpins the operations of their organization. And of course, number three, as a new board member being inducted, I get to understand what value expectations have been placed on me as someone who will be serving in a fiduciary role or in a role on a board. So let's look at this aspect of board inductions and consider its importance in helping to understand the purpose of the business, for regulatory issues, as well as value expectations. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful show. Thank you so much for your time. As always, from me, Big Budget, and the team that makes it happen, Black Network, Moana Pictures, it's good night and God bless. And never forget that you were born for so much more.